Intersectionality is the way a person's identity, background, and life experiences shape how they can see and understand the world. These identities can include race, ethnicity, gender, social class, ability, and culture. Closely related to positionality is Kimberly Crenshaw's theory of intersectionality, which explains that people experience the world through multiple overlapping identities rather than one single aspect of who they are. Crenshaw argues that these identities interact and can create unique experiences of privilege, discrimination, and opportunity. As a Black Afro-Latina woman of Dominican heritage who is also autistic, my worldview has been shaped by the intersection of my racial, cultural, gender, and neurological identities. These experiences influence how I interact with others, how others perceive me, and how I navigate different social interactions. Through the lens of intersectionality, I can better understand my experiences and recognize that my identity is complex, multifaceted, and cannot be understood by looking at only one part of who I am. Crenshaw, 1989. My experience as a Black Afro-Latina woman of Dominican heritage who is also autistic has greatly shaped my worldview. Being autistic has affected how I communicate and interact with others. Because I am often quiet and reserved, most people assume that I'm unfriendly or do not seem to understand social interactions. There have been times when people have told me that I do not seem autistic or claim that the doctors who diagnosed me were wrong. These comments can be frustrating because they dismiss my experiences and rely on stereotypes about what autism is supposed to look like. I have also experienced racism based on stereotypes about Black people and people of Afro-Latino backgrounds. At times, most people have made assumptions about my personality, abilities, and background before getting to know me. These experiences have made me more aware of how the way prejudice and bias can affect people's opportunities and social interactions. As a result, I value empathy, respect, and understanding. And I try to avoid making assumptions about others. My experiences have taught me that identity is complex and that everyone deserves to be seen as an individual rather than through stereotypes. Because of the intersections of my race, ethnicity, gender, and disability, people often make assumptions about me based off of stereotypes. One experience that stands out is being told that I don't act Black or I am whitewashed. In one instance, a boy and a girl were talking at school about how certain students act white, and they pointed at me and said, even her. Some comments like this can be hurtful because they suggest that there's only one correct way to be Black and ignore the diversity that exists within Black communities. I have also experienced stereotypes related to my autism. Some people have questioned my autism or said that I do not look autistic because I do not fit their expectations of what an autistic person should look or act like. Rather than seeing me as an individual, some people have made judgments based off of assumptions about race and disability and the intersection of the two. Kimberly Crenshaw's theory of intersectionality helps explain the complexity of my experiences because my identity is shaped by multiple overlapping factors, including my race, ethnicity, gender, and autism. These identities do not exist separately from one another. Instead, they interact and influence how I am perceived and treated by others. For example, being autistic can lead some people to question my diagnosis because I am a woman and because I am Black. And at the same time, being a Black Afro-Latino woman has exposed me to racial stereotypes and assumptions about how I should behave. Intersectionality helps me understand that these experiences cannot be explained by race, gender, or disability alone. Being told I don't act Black and having people dismiss my autism are examples of how different aspects of my identity intersect to create unique discrimination challenges. Crenshaw's work provides a blueprint for understanding how multiple identities can help shape a person's opportunities and their experiences. Through the lens of intersectionality, I can better understand my own experiences and realize that my identity is complex and cannot be understood by looking at only one part of who I am.